educate, encourage, enable the power. We stand for integrity, honesty, self-reliance, self-defense, and most importantly, no compromise on our foundational principles. This is America's Voice Now.
Find America's Voice Now on Facebook and at americasvoicenow.org. Here's Michael Evans.
Good morning, America. You're listening to America's Voice Now. My name is Michael Evans. I'll be your host this hour. Today is Wake Up Wednesday. The goal of Wake Up Wednesday is to instill in you the activate part of educate, inform, motivate, and activate. And so today we've got a series of issues that are on our agenda where we are going to try to elicit your cooperation and assistance in driving legislative behavior that is appropriate for what we're trying to accomplish in the restoration of America. There are a number of initiatives that we're driving today. 1, fill out your witness forms and demand that the Missouri Senate pass HB 436. There are links on the website and on our Facebook page where you can go out and fill out your witness form. It is a simple form. You simply put your comment in there about why you believe a bill should be passed, and then you are going to call your state senators and demand, on top of the witness form, that they pass HB 436. Why is this important today? Well, for starters, today the Senate is holding hearings, and they are the last step in the process to get this bill passed. The Second Amendment Preservation Act, which is House Bill 436, is the most declarative statement that any state has passed in reference to preserving our Second Amendment rights, irrespective of what the federal government does. So it is crucial to, 1, our citizenry, 2, our means and method of employing and bringing jobs into our community. Gun manufacturers, equipment and accessory manufacturers, and ammunition manufacturers are leaving the tyrannical states in droves. And we want them to come here. But they won't come here and provide jobs in our communities and revenue to our income stream as a state without this bill being passed. So fill out your witness forms. There are links on our website, and there are links on Facebook, and I'm going to give you another website where you can go and you can begin your own form, for witness form, where you can basically create your own database. Here's the way it works. When you fill out your first witness form, you put in your name and your information and so forth. You put whether you're for or against the bill, and you put in your comments as to why. That information is then preserved, and it is entered into the record, the congressional record. So it becomes a part of the archives. Now, every time that you click on another witness form, it's already pre-filled out for you to make it as simple as possible for everyone to do their part and to work towards achieving a legislative goal. So if you can't get to our Facebook page and you can't get to our website, you can go to MoFirst, MoFirst, MoFirst.org. That's a website where you can literally click on the witness form link, fill out your form. You'll be entered into that system, and every time that you want to, or actually make sure that you check the box that you want to be notified of new legislative initiatives. That way, every time there's a new one out that we're putting a drive forth on, you'll get an email that says, click here to fill out your personal witness form, which is already preloaded with all of your information. You don't have to get superfluous. You don't have to be, the next Daniel Webster. You simply have to put in there, I support this bill, or I reject this bill, and here's why. And let me tell you, Rejecting is just as important as supporting. So there are some bills we want to absolutely reject that come across our desks. And so your goal is to provide our legislators with the ammunition that they need, that when they walk into a Senate hearing or they walk into a vote, they can stand there and wave 1, 2, 3, 8, 12 inches of paper and say, this is what my constituents are asking for, this is how I'm voting, and that's the reason why. They need more than anecdotal information that comes from an aide saying, well, I got 7 phone calls for and 3 against, or vice versa. This gives them empirical proof that you and their constituency in general are playing an active role in directing them as to how we expect to be represented. So you can't participate, or you can't claim that you're not being represented properly if you're not participating. You can't. Our goal in Wake Up Wednesday is to take each and every Wednesday and throw out a specific initiative or group of initiatives that we're trying to get activity on. The goal is to drive our legislators forward in the direction that we want them to go. We're pushing the Titanic with a tugboat. We're trying to steer it in a direction that we want it to go. We're trying to steer it away from the icebergs. So, today you can jump onto Facebook at facebook.com/America's Voice Now. You can jump onto our website at americasvoicenow.org and read down in the news bullets where I've got a link for it. If you can't do any of those, you can simply go to mofirst.org, mofirst.org, and click on a witness form, fill yours out, make sure you're doing your part and your duty and your responsibility to be an active participant and a member of our republic. Second, we're going to call our state senators. Here's the phone number, the Missouri Assembly switchboard. Now, this is just a generic switchboard. You call this, you ask for your senator by name. Their number is 573-751-2000. That's 573-751-2000. Ask for your senator by name. If for some reason you have time on your hands and you're willing to take the effort, then I encourage you to call all state senators, and we've posted that information up on Facebook as well. Call every senator in the state of Missouri and tell them we want this law passed. HB 436, the Second Amendment Preservation Act. All right. That's our state initiative. While you're on the phone, I want you to mention to them SJR 14. That's Senate Joint Resolution 14. What this says is that the state, not only, this is for a constitutional amendment that will make your firearms rights unalienable in writing and put the state and federal government on notice that they are not to be trifled with, but it goes beyond that. It actually adds a couple of other benefits that you need to understand. One, it makes it very clear that the state must defend in court its citizenry who are charged with a federal violation or a state violation when their Second Amendment rights have been trampled upon. So here's the implications of this. And you have to realize how strong a piece of legislation SJR 14 is. SJR 14 basically states that in the event that let's draw a hypothetical scenario. Let's say, for argument's sake, that the federal government were to come into your home and attempt to take your firearms away for whatever reason. It doesn't even matter. Because Second Amendment Preservation Act nullifies all federal law relating to firearms. They have no right to do so. And so this gives you the teeth to go back in and know that that the state of Missouri will actually defend your case in court. Now, you can't afford it, but they can. And so your goal is to make sure that both HB 436, the Second Amendment Preservation Act, and SJR 14 are passed, and that all of the Senate is voting on this. We have a veto-proof majority, and our aim and our goal is to wield it like a sharpened sword. Let's make this happen today, because this vote needs to be completed. We've got to do it before the Senate and the House go on break, and we need the time to get Governor Nixon to either sign it or veto it or allow it to expire, where it automatically becomes law, so that if he does veto it, we can go back in and override the veto. We have the votes to accomplish it. We'll be right back.
If you're looking for great deals on iPads or Kindles, look no further than your neighborhood Radio Shack authorized sales center. They've got great deals on the latest iPads and Kindles. Maybe you need a new GPS or an MP3 player to get your music library ready for those barbecues. Whatever your electronic needs, stop by your local neighborhood Radio Shack authorized dealer in West Plains at 1408 Southern Hills Shopping Center, or call 417-256-1819.
There's one man on this earth who really, truly gets it.
When Obama said he seeks to fundamentally transform America, he means fundamentally alter the nature of our republic, which in turn means to fundamentally reshape society and the citizens' relationship, our relationship to the federal government. The sovereign, we the people, become the subjects. Some people follow this willingly. Some people endorse it. I say hell no.
Weeknights from 5 till 8, Mark Levin on the Ozarks Best News Talk 107.1.
All right. It is Wake Up Wednesday. Time to wake up from your slumber, America. Do your duty. Do your part. Drive these legislators in the direction we want them to go. I know it's like herding cats. Our goal, our driving force, is grassroots effort. Either we will restore our nation or we will give it up and lose it. We cannot afford to wait any longer. SJR 14 and HB 436 are crucial and critical to our ability to restore our nation and to restore our state back into a position where we are in control of government versus the other way around. I'm going to give you that information again. I'm going to give you two switchboard numbers. One for the Missouri Assembly. That's our House and Senate. The second is for the federal Congress, because we're going to make some drives on them today too. And I'm going to give you two switchboard numbers, or actually four numbers total. Two that are toll-free for the federal switchboard and one that's not. And then the one for the Missouri Assembly. Missouri Assembly switchboard, again, 573-751-2000. That's 573-751-2000. Now, the federal congressional switchboard, and this is a whole nother initiative that we're going to look towards. There's a couple of things that we're going to work on today. One, we're going to talk about, to our House and our Senate members, about CISPA. CISPA, if you're not familiar with it, is a far-reaching cyber bill that allows our National Security Agency open access to all of your electronic information. In addition to that, they shoved in a last-minute amendment in there that states that you must turn over your Facebook password to your employer. I mean, people, this is treason. Flat-out treason. It is an absolute violation of the Fourth Amendment. It is a violation of your right against unreasonable search. It is a violation of your right to privacy. You now have to give your password up to your employer if they demand it. And that employer can then take that information and use it to import it into your employment file. So if they find a picture of you from a vacation where you're sitting there with a hot toddy in your hand, that's a strike against you. Promise this will not be used for your benefit. Guaranteed. This is, now, they put one protection in there. Your employer can't act as if they are you and pretend they're you on Facebook and post things in your name. Big big deal. You shouldn't have given him the password in the first place. I'll tell you right now, I'm fortunate that I work for myself, because if my employer told me I had to give him my Facebook password, I'd tell him to get lost. He could take the job and shove it. I'm telling you right now that CISPA is one in a long list of the great tyrannies against America. But it's right up there with the Patriot Act, the National Defense Authorization Act, the Federal Reserve Act, the Income Tax Act. You want me to keep going? It's treason. Pure and simple. And, more importantly, all of your federal legislators, including those conservative Republicans, passed it with flying colors. Yes, sold out, betrayed, sold down the river one more time. I'm telling you, it is beyond comprehension. This is why I wrote 90 Days That Will Change the World. Because the people that are in Congress in Washington have so abdicated any semblance of representation of the protection of law for the people of this nation that it is an open and blatant act of treason at this point. Virtually every bill they pass, in some way or shape or form, hampers your ability to act as an independent, self-actuating, self-directing individual. You are being forced down the funnel of tyranny every single day with every single vote, and it's from both sides of the fence. They are traitors, and it is obvious and blatant to anyone who wants to even open their eyes and look. And I, for one, have had enough. I'm all for a march of 10 million, 15, 20 million Americans to stand in front of Washington and say, get out of our house. We're tired of betrayal. We're tired of treason. And you are the perpetrators of it. We're not leaving until you do. Then repeal all of this trash that they have passed on us for safety's sake. I'm tired of being told that 0.000000001% chance of me being killed by a terrorist attack is the reason why I'm being stripped of my liberty. I'm being stripped of my ability to teach and educate my children. I'm being stripped of my ability to engage my fellow citizens in a conversation. I'm being stripped of my privacy. I'm having my life, my electronic world surveilled. I'm having my home surveilled. I'm having my public appearance in the street surveilled by cameras and facial recognition systems. My DNA is wide open for anyone and everyone. My information is sold to private companies for the government's benefit. My information is then bought back from the government, from private companies, to be used in nefarious ways. I am sick to death. And if you're not, you're asleep at the switch. You are asleep at the switch. You know, there's an article out there called Americans Snapping by the Millions on WorldNet Daily. Absolutely perfect. Suicide has surpassed car crashes as the leading cause of injury death for Americans. And even more disturbing, in the U.S. military, more soldiers died last year from suicide than they did in combat. A third of the nation's employees suffer chronic debilitating stress. More than half of all millennials, that's 18 to 33-year-olds, experience a level of stress that keeps them awake at night. They have large numbers have been diagnosed with depression and anxiety disorder. Listen to this stuff. It'll blow your mind. New research from the Federal Centers for Disease Control, the CDC. Now, this is not a conservative organization, so you can't throw these numbers under the bus. They show that 1 in 5 of all high school children in the United States are diagnosed with ADHD. I don't buy it. What this is a chemical dependency that is being fostered on this nation to dull us down and to dumb us down into absolute complacency, apathy, and slavery. Nothing more. A new study by the New York City residents shows that 1 in 5 preteens, those are kids aged 6 to 12, have been medically diagnosed with ADHD, anxiety, depression, or bipolar disorder. I don't buy it. I'm telling you that psychiatry, mental health organizations are absolutely working in collusion with this government to enslave the United States of America, our population, our children. They are teaching these children that our sole function is to join the ranks of the sheeple, to stand in line, do as you're told, be a good little person, work hard for us, work hard for the state, work hard for the hapless and the helpless, make sure that you're doing your part, join the collective. And they're feeding us drugs by the billions of pills. America's not depressed. America is crying from a broken heart. Because we know the end is near. We see the collapse. We feel the building vibration. We feel the foundation shaking beneath our feet. We feel the foundation and the fabric ripping and shredding of everything that we have ever known to be truth. Everything that we have ever known to be integrity, honesty, moral fiber, moral fabric, backbone. We have been betrayed. And we have been betrayed by these people who claim to allegedly represent us. This is a conspiracy on a scale so large that most people cannot get their arms around it. It's like trying to hug a sequoia tree. It's just too damn big. Research. Stress renders people susceptible to serious illness. 11% of all Americans aged 12 and older, listen to this. This statistic is so saddening, so heartbreaking, so critical to understanding what is being done to you. They are building a nation of automatons. 11% of all Americans, 12 and older, taking SSRI antidepressants, highly controversial, mood-altering, psychedelic, and psychiatric drugs with the FDA's suicidality warning right on the label. And the correlation between those people taking these drugs and every one of these school shootings, every one of these mass shootings, the guy in Aurora, the guy had so much dope in him, you could fill Giant Stadium with it. 23% of all American women in their 40s and 50s, 1 in 4 now, taking antidepressants. These are not my numbers, folks. I ain't pulling these numbers out of the air. These are direct from the CDC. The government themselves are admitting 1 in 4 women in their 40s and 50s are taking antidepressants. These are the same SSRI antidepressants that are poisoning the minds of our children, that are poisoning the minds of those who are weak and already mentally unbalanced, and causing them to go out and take lives. Mark my words, make no mistake, somewhere down in history, someone will look back and recognize these drugs for what they are. These are a pill form of lobotomy. Unfortunately, they're not as effective because instead of just leaving you like a catatonic zombie, these leave you like a catatonic zombie with murderous intent and suicidal intent. If you are taking these kinds of drugs, you have an obligation to get off this trash. And I do mean get off it now. Tens of millions of users are on all other types of psychiatric drugs. 6.5 million American children between 4 and 17 diagnosed with ADHD and given Ritalin and other psychostimulants. My God, America, you've become the happy pill nation. The happy pill nation. That's what we are. Just take a pill, it'll all go away. Unfortunately, it's not all going away. It's only getting worse. And if you're taking that crap, you're part of the problem. We'll be back in just a minute.
Fox News Radio. I'm Chris Foster. All of Boston's Boylston Street and the Copley subway station are open for the first time since the marathon bombings. The older and now dead suspect, Tamerlane Tsarnaev, bought fireworks in New Hampshire in February, asking a cashier
direct him to the most powerful and loudest firework that we had.
April Walton manages the Phantom Fireworks in Seabrook, New Hampshire.
I actually broke down and cried just because it was very overwhelming just to know that somebody that had done something so awful was here at our store.
Says she checked the records after the suspects' names were released. Lower demand for airplanes dragging down U.S. factory orders last month, a 5.7% drop. And Ford is reporting a better-than-expected profit, $1.6 billion the first quarter of the year. Strong sales in North America and China, wiping out losses in Europe and South America. Fox News. We report, you decide.
Visit our outstanding sponsors, West Plains Pawn, located on Route 160, about a mile past Walmart on the right-hand side. West Plains Pawn can be found on the web at westplainspawn.com. You can also reach them via telephone at 417-256-3000. The battery station at 303 Washington Avenue, right off the square in West Plains. They can be reached via telephone at 417-257-7799. They can also be found on the web at batterystation.com. My friends at Ozark Mountain Self-Reliance. Brian can be reached at 870-492-4030, and he's located at 3225 Route 62, 1/2 mile east of Walmart in Mountain Home. Make sure that you visit our friends over at Pizza Hut on Porter Wagoner Boulevard in West Plains. They have an outstanding lunch special buffet. You can have salad as well as pizza and other pasta, so you can have something tasty and something healthy. Bill Stone over at Stone Construction at 2930116. Bill Stone does remodeling, custom and new construction, light commercial, farm work, pretty much the gamut. If you're interested in doing some kind of a new project, make sure that you give Bill Stone at Stone Construction an opportunity to bid on that job. And my dear friend Mary over at Chantilly's Artisan Bakery, number 2 Evans Arcade, right off the square in West Plains. She can be reached via telephone at 255-2253. She's got the best damn bakery in 100 miles. And thanks so much to our phone line sponsor, Jason over at Wits End Classic Barbershop. You can call us on the Wits End Classic Barbershop hotline. He is on the square in West Plains. Excellent opportunity for you to get your hair cut. Get over there and visit us.
If you're looking for a new or used pistol, shotgun, or rifle, West Plains Pawn & Gun has over 450 firearms in stock. All your favorite models like Beretta, Glock, Smith & Wesson, Kimber, and many, many more. West Plains Pawn & Gun is also a Class 3 arms dealer, so if they don't have it on the shelf, West Plains Pawn & Gun can order it for you. Even those hard-to-get guns. West Plains Pawn & Gun, 1713 U.S. Highway 160 West in West Plains, or online at westplainspawn.com.
Weather sponsorships are now available on News Talk 107.1 The Point. Get more information, email info@diamondmediaradio.com for complete details.
From the Point Weather Center, for this morning, a stray shower, otherwise becoming sunny today, the high temperature 58, clear with frost tonight, low 34. Sunshine tomorrow, high 64, and then clouds and showers for Friday, high 60, maybe a shower Saturday. I'm staff meteorologist Jim Rinaldi, and for more information, visit my1071thepoint.com.
Last time on the Dennis Miller Show.
At an event thrown by the website Politico, Bill Gates said, quote, "Some days I wish we had a system like the UK, quote, to give Obama more power." Yeah, some days I wish Windows worked like Apple. How's that, Billy boy? These guys are fetishistic. He wants it to work more like the UK. He wants to see Obama padding around in one of those powder
Weekdays
wigs.
from 9 till noon, it's the Dennis Miller Zone on the Ozark's Best News Talk 107.1.
All right, we're back. Got a caller here I want you folks to hear from. Go ahead, caller. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, this is Liberty Rose. My son is one of those 1 out of 5 that was diagnosed with ADHD, and they put him on guanfacine and something else, and he turned into a raging lunatic. I have just taken him off of his medication 2 days ago, and I got my son back. He's better than he's ever been on any of their medicines.
In 2 days?
In 2 days.
I'm telling you, folks, you will see a stunning result in your children if you get them off this trash. You need to purge this and cleanse your body of this and your mind of these psychotropic drugs that are being shoved down our throat. It is destroying the fabric, and the drive and the motivation and the brilliance that is America.
I know.
It's turning our children into It's turning our children into psychotic monsters. Or absolute dummies. Just
I know.
numb to the world and what's going on around them.
Yeah, everything we know is on it. We knew something was wrong with these people. 3 out of the children in my neighborhood, and there's about 10 of them, are all on these medicines.
Yep. I'm not surprised.
It's ridiculous.
I am not surprised, dear. Thank you very much for your call. I appreciate it. And thank you for your knowledge and wisdom in getting your son off of that stuff.
Yeah,
you know what? Change his diet. Go see Kevin down at the battery station. He's got a thing that'll cleanse your kid of that stuff in rapid time. It'll deprogram him and get him off of that. Okay?
And where is that at?
Go see Kevin down at the battery station. 257-7799. He's a friend of mine. Tell him I sent you down there, and your son's been on these psychotropic drugs, and you want to talk to him about how to cleanse him of that. Get it out of his system.
Right.
All right? You make sure you give him a call today.
And that's $77.99?
Yep, 257-7799. Ask for
All
Kevin.
right, thanks.
Tell him your son's been on SSRIs and psychotropic drugs, and you want to get it out of his system.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. It takes about 30 days to get that stuff out unless you use some methods to get it out of your system faster, and he'll talk to you about it.
All right, thanks so much.
Thank you, dear. Folks, I'm telling you, this stuff is poison. It is poison for your body, and it is poison for your mind. And you have been betrayed and tricked into taking something that is supposed to make your problems go away. And in fact, it is the worst thing that you could be doing. Americans are snapping by the millions for one simple reason. This administration, this government, the past administrations are not guiltless. Trust me when I tell you, I have no bias. I hate all politicians. I don't care what stripe they represent. I don't care what name they call themselves. They are traitors to us. All of them. The number of salvageable ones that are in our federal electorate, you can count on one hand. And that is in our federal system, excuse me, not our electorate, our federal system. You can count them on one hand. I'm telling you, not a single one is guiltless. Rubio, they're touting him to be the next great thing and the next and the most wonderful thing in the world. The guy's a traitor. Now he's trying to shove immigration down our throats. You got Rand Paul out there. He stands up. He does the right thing about drones. Then he turns around the other day and he says, if a guy's running out of the store with a gun in his hand and $50 in his other hand and a bunch of wadded up bills and you want to use a drone to snuff him, go right ahead. I have no problem with that. What? Are you out of your mind? I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, we are being conditioned day in and day out, a little incrementalism at a time. But have you noticed the ramp that has been kicked up higher against us? Have you noticed the ramp and the speed with which we are now racing? I'm telling you, if you or your family or anyone that you know is on these mind-altering drugs, Prozac, Paxil, Ritalin, you name it, there's a million of them out there. Get off these drugs now. These drugs are dangerous. And if you believe your doctor that this is what you need in order to make it all go away, you remember the Stones did a song called Mama's Little Helper or Mother's Little Helper? It was all about Valium. Well, today it's not Valium. Today it's SSRI reuptake inhibitors. The mind-bending, mind-altering, psycho-inducing apathy pill for America. Ladies and gentlemen, this is falling so fast away from us that it is like the ground is collapsing underneath us as we stand here. We are falling into a sinkhole of despotism that is unmatched in history. You watch and see how fast this whole thing comes down. Because when the bottom drops out, you know, let me tell you something. You cannot get off this stuff snip like that. You've got to take some time to get off of it, and you've got to cleanse it out of your system. If you want to, there is a method you can use to get this stuff out of your system. There's a product that a friend of mine has that will help you do that. Go see Kevin over at the battery station, 417-257-7799. That's 417-257-7799. Just tell him you've been taking this SSRI, or you or your family member, whoever it is, and you want to cleanse your system of it. And I'm telling you right now, it will blow your mind how fast that this will clean that out of your system, and you will have normal thinking again. And I'm here to tell you something. It's going to take you time to rewire your brain. It will take you time to rewire your brain properly. If you've been on it for a long, long time, I'm telling you, this stuff is unbelievably dangerous. You have no idea. They are experimenting with your mind. And it is not a good experiment. Our obligation as individuals, as citizens, as families, as responsible parties to our families. If your wife is on this and she's one of the 1 in 4 women between the age of 40 and 50 that has taken this, or your husband is on it, I'm telling you, do everything in your power to get them off these drugs. Everything. Make it your mission in life to get your family clear of this drug. It is the worst thing that America has seen. I can't believe that we actually allow ourselves to be inundated with this kind of trash, because it is killing us. And it is killing our drive, our motivation, our brilliance. It is killing our ingenuity. It is killing our creativity. It is killing our sense of liberty, our sense of freedom. It is killing everything about us. The fabric is shredding underneath our feet. This is not something for you to toy with, to take your doctor's word for it. Believe me, they're not participating in your improvement. They're participating in your demise. Are all doctors negative? No. And I'm not trying to say that they are. I'm telling you, this is not the solution. And if your doctor tells you it is, find another doctor. It's that simple. If your doctor tells you you absolutely must have this, find another doctor, get another opinion, find a third doctor, get another opinion again. Don't take this crap. It is not a helper. It may be for some small, tiny, minuscule percentage of our society because they truly have mental illness. But I'm here to tell you what they're handing it out for, like jujubes and gumballs, is for depression that does not exist. We are depressed because our nation is fractured. We are depressed because our government is trying to isolate us, separate us, anger us, frustrate us. And it's working. We are depressed because we see that the entire nation and everything that we've known and fought for is being stolen from us by a group of betrayers in Washington, D.C. and in our state capitals around the nation. There are very, very few patriots in government service, let me tell you that. Very few indeed. I fear greatly for America. I am terrified at what I smell and see and taste coming. It's like walking out my door and I can tell. I can smell the snow in the air. I can feel the dampness in the air. I know a storm is coming. And if you don't, maybe you need to get off the mind-numbing drugs. If you don't, maybe you need to shut off the mind-numbing box called television. If you don't, maybe you need to start putting your time and your attention and your focus to understanding the world around you. We are in incredible danger. Incredible danger. The media is pummeling your mind. The drugs are melting it. We are in trouble as a nation. This is a clarion call for America to wake up, become awake and aware, and defend that which we cherish. We'll be back in a moment. We're going to round up Wake Up Wednesday with a final call to action. It is time for you to take action. Get off the couch. We'll be back in just a moment.
Howell County Bank, branch of Bank at Thayer, locally owned and operated since 1900. It's not what they do, it's how they do it. Roger London, president of Howell County Bank. Is it true that banks don't have money to lend?
And that's just not true. All the area banks have money to loan. We certainly do, and it's just a case of lack of confidence right now. We certainly have money to loan and welcome customers to come in and apply.
At Howell County Bank, it truly is not what they do, but how they do it. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
America's Voice Now, delivering truth over mainstream propaganda every single day. Hi, my name is Michael Evans, and I'm your host, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. and 8 p.m., and Saturday morning from 6 to 9 a.m. Join me daily for important guests and my unique slant on hot topics in the news. Visit americasvoicenow.org for even more news, articles, and commentary, and watch our show streaming live to your PC. Share your morning with me. Get educated, informed, motivated, and activated. America's Voice Now, right here on 107.1.
Out of 365 days a year, we celebrate holidays, anniversaries, and other important days. But there is one day you look forward to, your birthday.
I wanna wish you a happy birthday.
Ryan's Steakhouse of West Plains is proud to bring you the Birthday Club weekday mornings with Cooper & Company. Our daily winner receives one buffet and a drink to Ryan's. Just call your birthdays in weekday mornings with Cooper & Company at 255-0427. Brought to you by Ryan's and the Ozarks Best News Talk.
And happy birthday to you.
Cha-cha-cha-cha.
Kim Commando, a.k.a. the Digital Goddess, keeps you plugged in with a daily feature, Kim Commando's Digital Minute. This segment keeps you informed with what's going on in the technology world, along with new tips and tricks to use at home to improve those computer skills. Catch Commando at 7:22 a.m. during Cooper & Company on the Ozarks Best News Talk. If the feature has you craving more, join Kim, the Digital Goddess, Saturdays from noon to 3 on the Ozarks Best News Talk, 107.1 The Point.
All right. Listen, if you are on antidepressants and SSRIs, if you've been on them especially for a long time, don't try to cold turkey this. Wean yourself down off of this stuff over a slow period, because that's when people start acting psychotic and crazy, when they get off this stuff after they've been on it for a long, long time. If you've got a child who's on this, wean your kid off. Start breaking the dosages down. Get off of this stuff. Get your kid cleansed out. Get your father cleansed out. Get your mother, get your wife, your husband off of this stuff. It is going to destroy you, and it is going to destroy your family. Don't cold turkey it, because what we see is that when you do cold turkey this stuff, that's when these psychotic episodes occur. So I encourage you to get off of it. Start weaning your dosage down immediately. Cut it in half, then cut it in half again, and a half again, and a half again, and a half again, every week or 10 days or 2 weeks, and start weaning yourself off this stuff. Get off it now. If you want to help the process, get a hold of Kevin over at the battery station and ask him about how you can do that. His phone number is 417-257-7799. It's 417-257-7799. I promise you that you will do better without these drugs than with them. Get off this stuff now. You are eating your mind up, and they are loving every minute of it. Is your life so dear, or the promise of peace so sweet that you would be willing to purchase it at the price of slavery and chains? Is it really? I don't know about you, and I don't know what course others will take, but I will take the stand of give me liberty or give me death. Give me liberty and freedom from drugs, and give me liberty and freedom from abuse of my mind, my spirit, my hands, my thoughts, my ideas, my talents, my skills, and my gifts. Give me liberty or give me death. I will not waver. I will stand strong. I will dispense and separate myself from that which I know to be dangerous for me and to be against my best interest. I will fight ceaselessly, tirelessly, relentlessly against tyranny and against abuse of myself and my mind. Edmund Burke said it best. The only thing that is necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing. Think about that. The only thing that is necessary for evil to triumph in our world is when good men do nothing. And mark my words, what is happening today in our society, in every aspect of it, what is happening to us morally, what is happening to us spiritually, what is happening to us ethically, is evil. It is invading and pervading us. It is permeating around us. Our lives are being stolen from us by tyrants, happy with that result. I'm going to give out these phone numbers again. Go ahead, caller, quickly. Go ahead, caller, quick. I'm sorry. Go ahead, caller, quickly. I've only got a moment or two.
Oh, yeah, hello. What about the anti-depressant?
Go ahead, caller, quickly.
Yes, Michael, I want to tell you a little quick story.
All right.
You know, I was involved with an administrative agency.
Yeah.
My son was arrested in school, rightfully so, for drug use. They shipped him to C-Star, and the first thing they wanted to do was start him on Paxil and Zoloft over my objections.
Yep.
And they did it anyway. So, you know, you got a kid that's been expelled from school, he's in trouble, and they're going to treat him for depression. He should be depressed. You know what I mean?
Sure. His life is a wreck, and he's ruined it himself. His life is a wreck. He's ruined it himself, and now he recognizes there's a consequence to his actions. He should be depressed. He should be scared. He should be frightened. And he should not be dumbed down with a bunch of synthetic psychotropic poison.
I just wanted to throw that out there.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Great way to review it, and an excellent way to look at that facet of that issue. I'm telling you, the only thing necessary for the triumph of the evil that is around us today is for you to take action. Immediate. Start in your own household. Don't try to clean up your neighbor's yard until yours is clean yourself. Get that crap out of your system. Get it out of your mind. Get it out of your family. Get it out of your house. Do it properly. Get off of it slowly. Don't just try to cold turkey it, especially if you're on this high doses. Get off that stuff. Break it down. Start taking smaller doses and wean yourself off of it. Like anything else, this is an addictive drug. And just like an addictive drug like heroin can cause seizures for a person to jump off of it, this kind of thing can do the same exact thing. And I'm going to tell you something. If just think about this for a minute. If a drug that you've been taking in high doses for a long time can actually cause you to have seizures and psychotic episodes when you break away from it, can that possibly be good for you? I don't think so. Today is Wake Up Wednesday. Your obligation, your duty, is to fight back, and here's how we're going to do it. First, we're going to fight against this new internet tax that they're trying to whack us on. I repeat, starve the beast. I repeat, starve the beast. I repeat, starve that beast. Call your senators, call your congressmen on the federal switchboard numbers I'm going to give you, and demand that they destroy this bill before it actually gets passed. Secondarily, demand they repeal CISPA, an absolute treasonous violation of your right to privacy in your home, in your business, in your electronic world. Everything that you now have is wide open for them to look at, store, and use against you. Those two issues alone are just beyond comprehension. Internet sales tax now, so they can figure out one more way to suck blood out of the stones that are left. And CISPA. Here's your phone numbers. Federal Congressional Switchboard, 202-224-3121. That's 202-224-3121. I'm going to give you two toll-free numbers. If you're not writing these down, get off my radio station and go watch Kim Kardashian in her latest vamp rant, okay? Because you're not doing us any good. If you're not with us, you're against us. If you're not for us, you're part of the enemy. 877-762-8762. That's 877-762-8762. And 877-210-5351. 877-210-5351. Missouri Assembly switchboard. One single number. Write it down, memorize it, write it down, put it in your phone. 573-751-2000. I'm going to tell you something. I'm tired of people whining. I'm tired of inaction. I'm tired of them saying, I can't do it myself. I'm just one person. If you're one person and you're unwilling to participate, then you are part of the problem, not part of the solution. I'm going to throw something out here that's going to probably tick off the rest of talk radio, and I don't really give a damn. If Rush Limbaugh with 40 million listeners, if Sean Hannity with 15 million listeners, if Glenn Beck with 20 or 25 or 40 million listeners, if Mark Levin with 40 million listeners did what I'm doing right now, this country would be fixed. Where are you men? Where are you men? You have the capability to drive millions of Americans to go stand in Washington and fight back against this treason. Instead, you talk about it, but not a single solution is ever offered. Alex Jones, where the hell are you? You scream and yell about it, but I'm not seeing a solution ever come out of your mouth. I'm challenging you. You big dogs in the business, where are you? Where are you? Has the money corrupted you that you're willing to sit home and watch our nation descend into tyranny? American radio hosts, those of you who have power and influence in the bully pulpit, you are squandering that treasure. And America expects better from you. They look up to you, they honor and respect you, and they follow your opinion, and you are not leading. Ministers in America, where are you? You ministers who are hiding the truth from your congregants because of a 501c3 bribery, shame upon you, and may God forgive your soul. I'm telling you, America, it is time for an all-out push. It is time for all hands on deck. Everybody grab a broom. Everybody grab a mop. Everybody grab a brush. And we must scrub the poison off our deck. The poison is full in Washington. Washington's full of it. Your state capitals are loaded with it. Your churches are loaded with it. Cleanse your home. Cleanse your place of faith. Cleanse your place of religion. Cleanse your place of political representation. Cleanse your own mind and your own family of the poison being funneled into you through your eyes, your ears, and your mouth. And America, we may have a chance. You're listening to America's Voice. You can find us on the web at americasvoicenow.org. You can find this on youtube.com/America's Voice Now. And you can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/America's Voice Now. The only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing. Where do you stand?
We are